This is section 3.2, adding and subtracting linear expressions. So in the last lesson, we talked about simplifying algebraic expressions. Today we're going to make it a little bit, we're going to narrow it by saying we have to have linear expressions, and then we're going to learn how to add and subtract them. So our first question, naturally, is what is a linear expression? A linear expression is an algebraic expression that does not have exponents, okay? So if we're trying to figure out which of the following are linear expressions, negative 4x, notice it doesn't have an exponent on it, so that one is good. Negative 7x cubed plus x. I see this little cubed here, so that one is not going to work. X to the 5th plus 1. I see that exponent and that's gone, so that doesn't work. And 5 minus 1/6 x. That one looks like good because it doesn't have an exponent. So just always look for those exponents to see if it's linear or nonlinear. Now to add linear expressions, all you're doing is combining like terms. So let's look at the first one. X minus 2 plus 3x plus 8. When we're adding, we can go ahead and kind of forget about those parentheses because it's not going to change anything. So I see an x and a 3x, so my answer is going to have 4x in it. I see a negative 2 and a plus 8, so it's going to be plus 6 because negative 2 plus 8 is 6. Looking at the next one, let's look for like terms. So I see negative 4y, and in the other one I see 11y. Negative 4y plus 11y is going to be 7y. And then I see a plus 3 and a minus 5. 3 minus 5 is negative 2, so this simplifies to 7y minus 2. Alright, this next one is going to have a bit of an extra step because I see that that number outside the parentheses. So go ahead and do the distributive property. Go ahead and use the rainbow. So this simplifies down to 4 minus n. Ooh, whoops. 4 minus n. And then 2 times negative 5n is negative 10n. 2 times 3 is positive 6. Now we can go ahead and find our like terms. I have 4, goes with positive 6, and I have negative n going with negative 10n. So our answer, I'm going to put the n's first, just because that's something I personally like to do. Negative n minus 10n is negative 11n, and then 4 plus 6 is 10. Alright, next one. For the next one, let's go ahead and collect like terms, combine like terms. I see a negative 8z and a positive 8z. And I see a positive 4 and a negative 7. So negative 8z plus 8z is going to be 0z. Plus 4 minus 7 is going to be minus 3. Notice that anything times 0 is 0, so this can actually go away. So your answer is just going to be negative 3. Alright, last one. Same thing. I see an x and a 2x. That gives me 3x. I see a 3 and a minus 1, which gives me plus 2. Subtracting linear expressions is going to be pretty similar, except now we have to do one little extra step. So we're going to distribute in the negative because subtraction is the same thing as adding the opposite. So there are two different ways you can think about this, and I'll show you the two different ways. So I'm going to rewrite that first problem over here just so I have a little bit more room. So 5x plus 6 minus negative x plus 6. When we have that minus a parentheses, it's like there's a 1 here, which means we can take that negative 1 and distribute it in. So the first one stays the same, 5x plus 6. Negative 1 times negative x is plus x. Negative 1 times positive 6 is negative 6. And now it just becomes like the addition one. So we have a 5x and a plus x to get 6x. And we have a plus 6 minus 6 to get 0. And we can forget about the 0. Another way you can think about this is going to be adding the opposite. So what you do is you leave the first one, leave the first set of parentheses, change the minus to addition. So we're going to change this subtraction to addition. And then we're just going to change the sign on both of the parts inside. So negative x becomes positive x, and plus 6 becomes negative 6. Okay, notice how this looks exactly like that. We're doing the same thing. It's just two maybe a little bit different ways to think about it. So you're going to get the same answer either way. So let's try it with the second example. All right, so let's look at this one. This one's a little bit more challenging because we have the distributive property. So I'm going to rewrite that over here just so I have more room. All right, so that 2 I'm going to distribute in. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times negative 8 is negative 16. Have to do the distributive property again. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. And then I'm going to go ahead and combine like terms. So a 2x and a negative 3x gives me negative x. And then the minus 16 and the minus 12 gives us minus 28.